All right, everyone, I hope you can hear me. Um, Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's stream. We're kicking off very shortly. Um, just give me, let's just wait a bit for some people to join in also. Then let me um, send out the link. All right, welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Uh, it is with great pleasure and joy that I have the honor of hosting us on this call today. All right, so the time is this is about 7 minutes past two, so I'll just wait till about 10 minutes. All right, past two to allow a little bit more of our guys to join to join the call. All right, and then we'll keep up. All right, so till then, you can just decide to relax. So next 3 minutes officially will be kicking off, but till then you can just decide to relax. If you have something to munch on by your side, by all means, munch it. It's very important. The next 3 minutes exactly will be kicking off. So just relax and wait, guys. For those who are just joining, this is 8 minutes past two. I said just we'll just be waiting a bit to allow more of our guys to come into the call with us, and then we just have enough people, and then we just push. All right, so the next 1 minute exactly, because this is already 9 minutes past two. So the next 1 minute will be kicking off. So I just want you guys to relax. All right, so then. All right, guys. So this is exactly 10 minutes past two. All right. So apologies for starting late. Or we had some little bit of technical glitches towards the beginning. But all the same, we are live right now. We're kicking straight up into today's stream. All right. So welcome, guys, to today's live session with us at EasyFX Academy. The Lazy Programmer. I'm glad to have you here with us. Right. So welcome to today's session with us at EasyFX Academy. We have this session every Thursday by this time, 2 p.m. Western African time, to basically just answer questions, right? We have some trade ideas that we would love to share with you guys, all right? And we also have, we're also giving that leeway, all right, to be able to answer questions, right? So if, for example, there's something that's currently bugging your mind, maybe you took a trade and it didn't get to play out the way you're expecting, all right, or whatever happened during the course of the week as far as it relates to your trading journey, right? We are here to give you prompt answers to your question. All right, so if you have any questions like that, you can just drop them in the chat box, and we'll answer them. Or if you just have a commodity, right, that you love for us to look at together, maybe you have been looking at a commodity and you just need that extra confirmation on your, or maybe you just want to know, okay, should I buy this guy now? Or maybe you're planning on spoiling yourself during the weekend, right? You just want to know if I should enter for this buy or should enter for this, or you want to find out what exactly I am currently seeing on that same commodity. I'll just drop them in the chat box and we'll look at them together. All right, so just give me a minute. All right, so guys, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to see. All right, but whilst I'm waiting, right, so I'll just kick off with what exactly I'm currently seeing in my chart. Oh, questions. Two questions. Wow. Lazy programmer. So let's start with your questions first. All right, before we go into what exactly we want to look at. So let me answer them. So give me a minute. Let me make sure that I can see everything as clear. I can see everything as clear as possible. So question one from the lazy programmer. Is it possible that there's a strategy that always works out, like no stop loss? Or like this chart, okay, like you the trade will not hit your stop loss. Okay, that's question one. Question. So let me see if we can take everything. The lazy programmer went to go and do research and came with like 500 questions for us today. Okay, I like that. So question two. Why can't all retail traders' money make a significant move in the market? Okay. Then question three. As a beginner, is it possible to know all currency behaviors? Like, is it possible to know all currency behavior? All right, so let me try my best to answer all of these questions. So let's start from the first one. Is it possible that there is a strategy that always works out, like no stop loss? So let me allow me to what's the word I should use? Allow me to digress a little bit into life in general, right? Before I'll come back into forex, right? I have to digress a little bit into life in general. Now, it is very, very impossible for you to always have a smooth journey in life. Now, I'm not saying that your journey will not be good, all right, but I'm saying that it is very impossible, all right, that you would have a smooth journey. What that means is that, when you hear people say that life is full of ups and downs, all right, that means that at certain points in time, you encounter things that might shake you or that might pull you down, so to speak. Right? Also, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. All right. So what that now gets to tell us is that no matter what it is, even in business, right, you usually hear entrepreneurs tell you that, oh, every business has a risk or there's a risk involved with every business, right? So it just gets to tell you that there's basically nothing in this world, all right, that does not have, quote unquote, its downside, so to speak. Right? I want you to understand that. So if you're now looking for a strategy that will always work out, now what I can tell you for sure is that necessarily there aren't any strategies that will give you 100%. Because if there's a strategy that can give a person 100%, or that means they don't lose any trades at all. If there's a strategy that gives you 100%, then it means that there will be a trader somewhere that maybe even you might not know of, right? That has never lost, maybe using that strategy. All right, which we know can't be true. All right, every trader would have taken a loss or in one way or the other, whether due to their due to their own misinterpretation of the strategy. Now, don't get me wrong, there are very, very good strategies out there. There are strategies that if you follow them to the letter T, you will not make you should be able to minimize the losses, right? But at the same time, you realize that because it is something that is managed by human beings, right, that has a human input, it is virtually impossible for you not to incur losses. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, Sam. So what that means then is that is it possible that there's a strategy that always works out? There are strategies that have high win percentages, let me put it like that. But a strategy that has a 100% win rate, that I cannot say for. And as far as I know, no. As far as I know, no. There are strategies that will give you 80%, 90%, 95%. That's why for most of you that are on signal groups that are making money, there are times that those big guys that you are looking at also lose money. All right, you have, let me not call names, but you have the likes of the big dogs that we have, in the Forex market right now. You should listen to them. They will tell you that there are days that they actually incur proper losses. Proper losses. And a lot of times, one thing that social media does is that it just pushes you to see the good parts, the flamboyant parts, right? The part that they are making profit, all right? But there are also the times where they take losses, right? So that just goes to show you that in truth, all right, what you can do as a forex trader and what you should focus on as a forex trader is the way to reduce your risk, right, and maximize your reward. Right, the same thing that happens in economics and just in general, right? You're trying to minimize input and then maximize your output, right? So you're trying to make sure that you're risking as little as possible and you're making as much as possible. So if that's all you're going to lose, you don't want to lose as much. If that's all you're going to win, you want to win as much as you can possibly win. All right, so that's my best answer. I think that's the best answer I can give to that question. Is it possible that there is a strategy that always works out? No. All right, because at the end of the day, that strategy still has to be interpreted by humans. That's why there are sometimes that you will do something, you know that something might not work out, but you end up doing it, and then you now start blaming yourself that why did I do it though? And if you're a Yoruba person, you'll be like, can't it be if I had known, had I known, I would have done this. And something was telling me in my mind, you will have that, so that's just a basic thing. I hope that answers your first question. All right, second question, why can't all retail traders' money make a significant move in the market? Very good. So let me answer this question like this. The meaning of retail in itself, all right, so let's look at the basic definition that we know from economics or what other class did we do that had retail in it? I think it was business studies, yeah. So we had retail traders, we had wholesale traders, right? So you get that the producer makes a certain product, right, and then the wholesale traders buy it in bulk, right, and then the retail traders buy it in a smaller unit as compared to the wholesale traders, and then they sell it to the final consumer. I don't know if any of you went to if you decide to do business studies and you remember that, I'm so happy for you. But I am clapping for you from where I am right now. All right, but if not, so all right, so that basically is the general idea I'm trying to push towards us here. So just give me a minute. I'm trying to let me get something. So just give me a minute. Apologies about that. I'm actually just doing something simultaneously too, so I had to take my eyes away. So forgive me. So going back to your question, going back to your second question on why can't all retail traders' money make a significant move in the market? So like I was saying earlier, right? You have the fact that the retail traders are basically getting something from the wholesale traders or the products from the wholesale traders in smaller units. Now, what this means, right? If we relate it to what we know in forex, means that as a retail trader, you might not necessarily, which most of us are, if not everybody here is, right? You are most likely not moving as much cash as the big players in the forex market. Now, the basics of forex trading, you have the big, very, very big players, right? You have the central banks, you have the investment managers, or hedge funds, and so on and so forth, right? Those are the big players that you really know of. In the Forex market, you have the multinational corporations, all right? Now, imagine a multinational corporation like NVIDIA. NVIDIA, they make graphics card. I don't know if anybody knows, or let's use one that everybody knows, Apple, right? Apple that make the iPhones, right? Now, imagine such a company. Let's just assume that the amount of money, all right, that Apple moves in a day, that the amount of transaction that Apple makes in a day is about 2 billion. And now, let me mind you, they move a lot of cash every day, a lot of cash every day. In the Forex market, you expect you would have heard this already. There's about $6 trillion that is running around in the Forex market almost every day, right? So if a multinational corporation like Apple, right, is moving about 2 billion, now how many retail traders do you think would have to combine all their money together to be able to move that same equivalent amount of cash? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to pass across to you, sir. So you have the fact that you have the big players, the Amazon, Apple, and you have all of them. They have serious cash that they can easily move. Central banks also, right? So a central bank that has basically the ability to move funds, serious amount of funds in billions, in actual billions, all right? So you hear that somebody, I think there was a time I heard that, what's his man's name? Warren Buffett, right? He lost about, is it 1 point something billion, all right, during a stock crash or something like that. Now, do you know how many retail traders will have to combine all their money? You can compare this with, statistics of maybe the retail traders that you probably follow, but most of them are trading towards $1 million and above, unless maybe, the ones that are like, I don't want to call names exactly. I don't want to call names, but those who are in quote unquote now Dubai, all right? Those are in the United UAE, right? So you see that they are moving a lot of cash also, but you see that at the end of the day, when we get the cumulative of all of that, we do not necessarily have enough money to be able to push as much as the big players are pushing. I don't know if you are getting what I'm passing across, sir. All right. So the reason why retail traders the money that retail traders cannot make a significant move in the market is because we have significantly less money than the big players. All right. So again, you have central banks, right? You have the JP Morgans, you have the Chase, you have the many central banks that are pushing billions daily. Billions. No, I not say millions, right? Billions daily. Right. You have like corporations I've called now, like Apple, like Nvidia, like Toyota, all of them, right? You have those who are doing investments, right? Hedge fund managers and everything. Those are the people that have current proper cash to push, all right? Not you that are coming with your $100 or your $1,000. All right. So compared to someone that is carrying $1 billion, all right, how much do you think your $1,000 will make a difference? So that basically, I hope I'm able to answer that question, basically. So that's question number 2. Question number 3, as a beginner, is it possible to know all currency behaviors? Like, is it possible to know all currency behavior? For chart patterns, why are some people getting different signals at a time? Like one guy gets a buy and the other gets a sell. Very good question. All right, so can you know all currency behaviors as a beginner? No. One thing you have to realize is that as a beginner, what you should do is to stay with the basics. All right, and in staying with the basics, I don't expect you to be able to know all the currency behaviors. Why? Because at the early stage of your trading journey, it is most likely that you might not necessarily understand the way everything moves. All right, that's the level of mastery that only comes with time and practice, right? So you have to spend a lot of time, all right, or a significant amount of time, and give a significant amount of attention to your charts to be able to actually get to understand how a certain currency pair or a certain commodity moves. Something like gold. That's why you notice that there are traders that strictly trade gold, right? There are traders that strictly trade US 30. There are traders that strictly trade NAS 100, NAS 500. You hear many of them. There are guys that they are strict GBP USD traders, GBP JPY traders, right? All of these things are things that they've been able to get because they've studied that chart over a long period of time. They understand how that chart moves, right? So as a beginner, I do not expect that it is possible, and I know that it is not possible for you to know all currency behaviors. All right. That being said, all right, you said like for chart patterns, why are some people getting different signals at the time? Like one guy gets a buy and the other gets a sell. Now, one thing you have to notice is that number one, different people have different strategies that they are employing in the markets. I'll come again. Different people have different strategies that they're employing in the market. Now, what that gets to tell us is that because different people are using different strategies, imagine that strategy like a binocular, right? So you that you are using a binocular of 4 times magnification, you'll be seeing something different from the person that is using a binocular of, let's say, 20 times magnification. I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to say, right? So one person has a clearer view, or the other person has a view also, but it might not be as clear, right? So it's very, very possible. And again, you have to realize that these strategies are things that are still being interpreted by humans. And because of that, you actually have the fact that human error can come into it. That's why it's actually very possible that 2 people will be using the same strategy and will be seeing different things. All right, not because the strategy is wrong, all right, but because their interpretations might then begin to differ. All right, so human error can enter, and then one person will truly be correct, the other person will be wrong. All right, so for chart patterns, why are some people getting different signals? I hope you understand it now. One guy is getting it buy, one guy is getting it sell. Different people have different strategies. That's one way to look at it. Number two, different people, sorry, not different people in this case. Human error can come into your trading once in a while. All right, that's why, like I said before, sometimes you will take some trades and be like, I wish I knew. How I wish I knew. I won't have, and all of those type of things that you usually hear people say, right? So you have that also. Then I think I've answered the question. I feel like I've answered that question well enough. So I still have more questions here. Should I send it or hold on? By all means, send it. All right. We still have other things to look at. All right. I still have some commodities I want to share, but by all means, send them in. So I'll do my best to answer the questions, and then we'll work with whatever I have to drop for the day. All right. Like I said, this is a Q&A session. We are here to answer your questions, right? So, is this saying correct? Before Forex makes one rich, it needs to feed you. So does that mean one can't be rich at once? I'm not sure if I quite understand the question. All right, I'm not really sure if I quite understand the question. Before you, I'm not sure if I understand that question well. Forgive me, sir. I don't know if you can help me clarify that. Because I'm not sure if I, but whilst you are doing that, give me a minute. All right, so apologies that my internet just decided to shake for like a few seconds, but I think it has stabilized itself back. So before correct next 1 week, so please, the lazy programmer, please, if you can rephrase that question and send it again, I would really appreciate that because I do not sincerely understand the question. All right, guys. So again, I am deeply sorry. My internet just played it's played a trick on me. Right, so I'm back now. So let's just quickly go into what exactly I want to share with us. So please, the lazy programmer, if you can just rephrase that question and send it so that I will know what exactly you are referring to, and we can answer that question now. All right, but let's just go. All right, so let's look at gold first. Let's look at gold first. And currently, it's just a very, very short scalp I'm waiting for on gold. Okay, like slow and steady wins the race. Once One should first make sure Forex gives you daily food before you think of buying a car. So does that mean if the market is there to give you Lexus money? So does that mean the market is there to give you Lexus money? Okay, all right. So this is the truth when it comes to Forex trading. Um, it is very easy to make a billion, let me put it like that, yeah. It's very easy to make $1 million when it comes to, let me go as far as a billion, but yeah. It's very easy to make $1 million as a Forex trader. All right, and it's also very easy to lose $1 million as a Forex trader. I promise you it is as simple as pressing buy and sell. All right, but the truth is that there is a process that has to come before pressing that buy and sell. right? You can easily, somebody can just easily tell you, I want to buy this right now, and then you enter for the buy. Or somebody can just say, I want to sell this right now. So those are trade signals that would have been given to a person, right, and they would have taken it and they would have made crazy money. Right? To say the forex it needs to feed you, or sorry, like slow and steady wins the race. Once you first mention that forex gives you daily, it depends actually. Um, I will tell you of the truth that when you start trading forex, you might not necessarily be seeing the $1 million that you want to make instantly. Right? You start making basically smaller cash, so to speak, smaller cash. So you might start making from, it might start up as small as $10, right? By making $10 a week, right? You might be making $50 in a week, or even $50 in a month, right? Like you might even be making $2 in a day. All right, and you just notice that you start moving slowly, slowly, slowly. So it's just a growth process, right? You will start up small, or you most likely start up small, and then you keep growing. So eventually, after a while of making smaller increments per day, eventually you get to a point where you start hearing that, or you start making those big bucks. So from the day that you made, or from the week that you made $100 profit, to the week that you made $1,000 profit, to the week that you made $100,000 profit, to the week that you're pushing just shy above or shy below $500,000, right? So it's as simple as that. You just keep going at it and keep improving. All right, but the important thing is that you do not stop. You do not stop. Make sure that you know the right things, right? If it takes you some time to react, make sure you know the right things, but you do not stop. All right, so that basically is it for my answer to that question. Slow. All right, please, can you all hear me? Can you all hear me now? My internet was misbehaving for a bit, but I just got it. I just have to switch now. Can you all hear me? All right, so I think it is a lot better now. I think everything is a lot better now. So the lazy programmer. So this last one that you sent, that will be the last question I'll answer for today. Now let's go to what I want us to look out for, and then all right. We shouldn't take it. Should all your trade eat TP? In an ideal situation, yes, all your trades should eat TP. That is in an ideal situation. Realistically, do all your trades eat TP? No. Like I said, sometimes it's not necessarily a matter of how good or how bad your strategy is. There's sometimes that you have the best strategy, and then just due to some little human errors on your part, you get to fail at that trade. Right? So it's not necessarily because of your strategy. Sometimes it can actually just be that you're the one that just misinterpreted something. So should all your trade eat TP in an ideal situation? Yes. Realistically, no. All right, there's actually nobody. That's why you will not hear of any trader that has never lost a trade before. You will never hear. The idea is that you want to build yourself to an extent where you can win a lot more than you lose. You can win a significantly lot more than you lose. All right, so that's why risk management is very, very important. You want to make sure that you want to build yourself to such a height where you have like 80%, 90%, even 95%, win rate. So also that if at all you even lose $1,000, let's just assume that you lose $1,000 in a day. You know that you won't be too shaken, because you know that you are more than capable to make times 10 of that, or even times 50 of that back the next day, right? Or at least soon after. Right. So that's just the truth about it. Should all your trade DTP? I think I've answered that question. Because a high charismatic guy who also owns an agency spoke against getting out of trade instead of eating one TP. Lazy programmer, I'm not sure if I get the last question you asked. Sincerely, I'm not sure. Because a highly charismatic guy. I think what they're trying to say is that somebody that is a motivational speaker. I don't know. All right, so also owns an agency, which is good. I spoke again getting out of a trade instead of eating one food. So let me just assume that I think I have an understanding of what you're trying to pass across, or the question you're trying to ask. And I think it's trying to say you should not leave your trade before it hits your stop loss. So if, for example, you're on a trade, all right, and it looks like price is going or is nearing your stop loss, you should not leave that trade because price is nearing your stop loss. You've done your analysis,
you've seen, he's not a motivational speaker at all. That was a joke anyway, but still. All right, so even though you're on a trade, right, you're seeing a trade is nearing your stop loss, it's still moving towards your stop loss. It will be weak of you and to be wrong of you and to be it will be what's the word? It will be it will be evil. It will be you doing yourself, so to speak. You understand? It will be you doing yourself. It will close out of that trade because the trade is nearing your stop loss. But the fact that the trade has not got to your stop loss means that at least there is still a possibility for a reversal from anywhere before your stop loss. All right, so it will be wrong for you and to be a disservice to yourself for you to leave that trade before that trade gets to TP. And it also means that if at all you are seeing that your trade is going and it's almost at your TP, all right, unless you want to take partials anyway, if you are truly sure that price should get to your TP, leave it there. Don't close out before it gets to your TP. Because I can tell you that from experience, there's sometimes I've closed out of a trade, and maybe the overall TP was supposed to be like, let's say $30 or $40. And then I had to go close out around like $5 or $6 because I was like, the way the thing is doing is no way to be sure. So imagine that type of scenario gets to happen to you. All right. So it is a disservice to yourself, and that's why it would affect your own psychology. All right, because you're going to be damaging your psychology. Your normal psychology should be built on I have this trade, I have seen this trade, this is where price should get to, and I'm staying by my word. I'm staying by what I've seen. I'm very sure of what I'm seeing. But you should not be then timid and then be shy and then be allowing the market to be playing with your emotions and your psychology. So I hope that answers your question, the easy programmer. Yeah. So let's quickly go into what I wanted to share with us today. I really don't have much to share with us overall. All right, so let's look at gold. This will be the first trade I want to share with us on gold. Right, and this should be something that we should see this week. I realize that's all the trades that we've been giving of recent have been trades that you might have to hold to after the weekend, but I'm trying to see if we can simplify that. But all the same, this is something that we should get to see this week. It's a simple sell trade off of gold. Your entry, again, 1:3. Excuse me. Entry is 2695.75. 2695.75. So the lazy program, I hope I've answered all your questions, right? So 2695.75 is your entry. Your stop loss is 2707.16. 2707.16. Your take profit is 2661.50. 2661.50. The idea is very, very simple. I'm just seeing that currently price still looks to want to continue bullish on gold, right? At least up to this point. All right. So I'm just watching and I'm just playing based off of that. Again, it's a very, very short scalp taking once we get to see price entering into here. So I'm currently just expecting a very simple sweep of this eye here. All right, this should be our liquidity grab towards the upside, right? You see that liquidity grab towards the upside. Once we see that happen, then we definitely are going to see price push into this window. I'm just going to be working with the 50% of this zone for the sell. So how that is clear for gold. Overall, I'm still saying that this guy looks to be giving us signs that he wants to continue bearish overall. But let's just see how this plays out. Right? So how that is clear for gold. Quickly, let's look at BTC. So again, I think that I've said this before. I'm not a crypto trader, but definitely one of the advantages that we forex traders, quote unquote, get to have is that we understand technical analysis, and usually it helps us when we get to then decide to move into maybe things like crypto and the likes, right? So let's look at BTC USD together. This was the trade that we gave on the last session for BTC USD 1:5.4. You can see sweet, easy, not too difficult. All right. So this was on Thursday before the trade. The trade got on Thursday, I think. Yeah, evening of Thursday, it got to TP. I think that was Tuesday. That was 2 days ago, right? So we had to hold it for quite some time. But all the same, very, very simple, very, very interesting 1:5 trade on BTC USD. So then, what should I be expecting currently on BTC USD? Overall, it's very likely that we are going to see this guy maybe. All right. So this is all speculation here. Right, because this is crypto, and one thing you have to understand for crypto is that beyond your technical analysis, you have to then, even more than you might consider for the normal currency page, you might have to really, really work with your fundamentals also. All right, so for this, we should be expecting the price to still push up maybe even into the 100K or so range. All right, so I'm still watching out for that. All right. However, I think we should, if at all we get to see a pullback, we're fortunate enough to get a pullback towards this end. I think this is a trade you might be interested in taking from here on BTC USD. All right, so I'll not necessarily be giving you entry, all right, but you can watch out for a buy if until you get to the price come as low as 94,950, 94K950. So you might just watch out, maybe work with. Let's just use this whole range here. You might want to work with this whole range here. So maybe I will virtually still give I'll eventually still actually give the range. So maybe something like this. And then this I can be a this is a 1:3 or so trade, right? So something like this, something like right. So this is what I'm watching out for. If at all on BTC, if I get to see that short pullback into that range, then definitely I think we should be able to get in for the buys on BTC USD. So how that is clear, entry. Okay, so I didn't give the entry for the entry is around in this case now 94983, 94,983. Your stop loss 94,015, 94015. Your take profit 98347, 19,347. So how that is clear for BTC USD. Let's quickly move. I have just basically two more commodities to share with us from what I'm currently watching out for. For trades before the end of the week. So this is NZD card. Yeah. So this is NZD card, and I'm currently watching out for sales from around here. My entry. Let me just draw that up quickly. Also. So overall, if you look at this from the higher time frame, you see that currently we are still watching out to the bearish, and I'm just watching out for to catch that bearish continuation of this guy. Of this guy. So up to towards this low here again around 1:3.6 or so on this. So your entry for this would be 0.82445, 0.82445. Your stop loss 0.82614, stop loss 0.82614, and your take profit will be 0.81827, 0.81827. All right, so for something like this, you can take out partials from around these eyes here. So your TP1 on this will be around 0.82304. Your TP2 will be around here 0.82187, and then your final TP will be the previous one I mentioned. All right, so I hope that is clear. For NZD card, and finally before I exhaust everything that I basically want to share with us, Euro NZD. Right now, this one that I am very much watching to not maybe happen during the course of this week. That is 1, 2. This is for me the riskiest one of riskiest setup I currently have, right? On my chart right now, Euro NZD buy. All right, entry is around 1.78762. All right, stop loss 1.78159, and your take profit 1.80570. Now, why am I saying that this is the riskiest one for me? Overall, I'm still seeing that this guy looks to be nearing towards the bearish, and meaning that I've seen it to be turning bearish, right? So this is a counter trend trade, and I'm just expecting price to come at least. Let me change my TP. Let me leave it at least towards this end. All right, at least towards this high here. All right, not exactly at the high, but at least somewhere very very close to it. Hence me join this up. Again, I'm just going to be targeting 1:3. You can easily pick partials based off of the discussion, but your TP1 for this can be around here. At all, your TP2 can be around this item. So your TP1 on this trade will be here around 1.79726. Your TP2 on this trade will be around here 1.80147. All right, so I hope we've gotten all the values that I just sent out, all right, all the coordinates I just sent out. So I hope I have answered everyone's questions. Again, if you have any other question, this is already 46 minutes past 46 minutes past 42, right? So if you have any questions that you still want us to look at together, just drop them right now and let's look at it. All right, just send them in right now and let us look at it. I'm waiting. I feel like the lazy programmer still has like a lot more questions he wants to ask. All right, I still feel like he has a lot more questions that he wants to ask. All right, but let's just do like this. Let's take one more question or two more questions from anyone. All right, two more questions, then we'll call it a session. Two more questions. All right, the lazy programmer, what is peculiar to USD JPY? What do you mean? What do you mean peculiar? What are you referring to? Also, why don't I go into algo trading, or do I have anything against it? This question that you asked. Why don't I go into algo trading? Do I have anything against it? No, I do not have anything against algo trading. All right, I think as of 2 years ago, was it 2 years? I think it was last year or 2 years ago exactly. I was very much interested in even learning. I was very much interested in learning, how to program bots and everything, EAs and all of that. I had the motivation for like it lasted for like a week or two. No, not a week. Let's say a month. But it lasted for a month, and then other things just somehow encumbered my mind, and I just actually hit behind. All right, but why don't I go into algo trading? Um, how do I best answer that question? No reason particularly. I think if you have a bot that works for you well, by all means, enjoy the bot. Right, but it's different from there's a difference between a bot trading for you and you trading for yourself. All right, so the same way you have some people, some jobs that you might easily designate them to maybe ChatGPT, for example. Maybe you're supposed to write up something, and then you might easily just say, well, let me just allow ChatGPT to help me write it, and I'll just make a few adjustments. Whereas there's some people that they enjoy the thrill of doing everything on their own, right? So the same way, for example, now you might easily be able to buy a robot cleaner, right? A robot vacuum that can vacuum your own room and you don't need to sweep. I hope you know that there are some people that they enjoy sweeping, they enjoy cleaning their rooms, they enjoy cleaning their houses. And basically, I won't say I'm like that anyway. All right, but basically, it's just something similar for me. All right. So as much as I'm interested in it, the reason why I've not gone into it necessarily because I do not have all the necessary requirements that personally I have. However, as a company, EasyFX, right, we do actually have bots that we have programmed, all right, that are actually functional, all right, that are actually trading, all right, and we are still even in processes or in the process of creating new ones, all right. We are still even working on one even right now as I'm speaking to you, right? So why don't I go into algo trading? I just personally I'm not necessarily interested in it as a person right now. Eventually, I'm very sure I would like to understand the way it works and everything. So how that answers your question, sir. I don't have anything against it. I definitely don't have anything against it. If at all I'm going to have anything against algo trading, it's just depending on the strategy that is used to program the bots, right? So if at all you're using a bot that um a if you're using a bot that really is not profitable, then that's where I think I will have issues. Because trust me, there are many bots in the forex market and the financial market that are not as profitable as you would seem. All right, so there are bots that utilize let's not go into that anymore. All right, so is IBPS an algo or not? IBPS is a trading IBPS is a trading strategy that we designed here. All right, it's not necessarily an algo. However, it can be programmed into algorithms. So it's something that you can basically it's a strategy. So the same way you have, the same way you can look at price action, the same way you can look at different things, and you can have many different strategies for you to use to trade, the forex market. You can then program a bot to be able to use that trading style or that trading strategy on its own without your input at all. Do you understand that? So IBPS in itself, there's the manual trading, all right, which I am very, very much conversant with, all right, and then there is the fact that it can be programmed into a bot, or it has even been programmed into a bot, so rather. All right, so I hope that answers your question, sir. What is peculiar? I want to quickly answer the last question for today. All right, what is peculiar to USD JPY? Okay, behavior, like what to watch out for on USD JPY. Very, very simple. I think I'll answer this like this. Let me show you the chart of USD JPY quickly. USD JPY basically is the US dollar against the Japanese yen. Now, the easiest way I've seen to trade currencies that are major currencies, right, against each other is very, very simple. Be able to understand what exactly the relative strengths of those individual currencies are. So, for example, if I see that the current strength of USD is the current condition for USD is strong, all right, and I'm seeing that the current condition of the Japanese yen is weak. That is from DXY and JPY baskets, right? Then I expect that something like USD JPY should buy, right? So one thing that you usually notice, and this is a general thing, this has been a general thing anyway for pairs against the Japanese yen, is that you see that some of them have had crazy buys for a long time until recent where they had a very serious drop. Let me show you what that means. So very good. Look at this on the 4-hour time frame. So let me show you. Let me go to the daily time frame so that everybody will see that a bit better. So you can see from this was since around 2012, we've seen this guy has been buying consistently, right? Buying until of recent, which was I think this year when this was July, right? Where we had this impressive drop from on JPY pairs, right? So GBP JPY, Euro JPY saw this, USD JPY saw this. I think CAD JPY also saw something similar to this also. Now, the reason why we had this, I think that was around the point in time when the Japanese government decided. So this one I'm explaining now is more or less fundamentals, right? So This was around the point in time where the Japanese government decided to allow more people to borrow at lower interest. They reduced their interest rates, meaning that more people were interested in investing in the Japanese yen, meaning that more people were willing to get the Japanese yen as a currency. So that basically is what happened. And then you had the strength, the relative strength of the Japanese yen. We check Japanese GPY basket, it just rose. And so you saw in respect to US GPY, other pairs GPY, there was this massive drop. All right, so if I'm to actually say what exactly I feel is particular to this, I would just say basically make sure you're watching out for whatever you're seeing on the relative strength between the US dollar and the Japanese yen. And that is why what we do here a lot of times is that we look at the individual currency indices first before we look at currency pairs together. So look at DXY, look at AXY, look at CXY, look at GPY baskets, right? We even look at EXY too. To just have an idea of what exactly is the current strength of these guys, and then be able to tell a lot that they are going to do. Say, for example, I'm saying that USG, that the dollar, I'm expecting the dollar to be very, very strong, but I'm saying that, the Japanese yen is very, very weak, but I'm expecting that UJ will buy. If for any reason I'm saying that Japanese yen is very, very strong and the dollar is weak, then I'm expecting that UJ will sell. Right. So for you, it might just be easier for you to just work based off of what you're doing on the individual currency indices, and then work with that and translate that to what you're seeing on the currency pair itself. So DXY, GPY basket, and then you can translate that to whatever you're seeing on USD. I hope that answers your question as to what is peculiar to USD. I think I've noticed that you yourself you like GPY and USD GPY a lot. All right. So for me, depending on whatever I see, if I get to see my setup on a specific pair, then I go for it. If I don't get to see it on that pair, I most likely move my hand. So I'm not so keen on one currency. All right, I have my favorites. Don't get me wrong, I have my favorites, but I can bet you that you'll not always see your setup on your favorites. I can bet you that. Right. So that basically is it. All right, I hope I've answered your question, the lazy programmer. All right. So thank you everyone. Thank you very much everyone for joining us for today's live stream. We're thinking about, I don't know how many minutes it is. We had some technical issues along the way, but we're taking quite some time here. So thank you very much for joining us for today's live stream with EasyFX Academy. Again, we are going to be having this stream again next week, Thursday. So do all to join us for that. Our market review session is coming up tomorrow. Sorry, I'll be on Sunday evening, as I said tomorrow. Sunday evening by 9 p.m. on our Telegram channel. So do all to join us on there for that also. And do have a lovely rest of the week. Bye, guys, and God bless.